everyone. We are streaming a game here. This is a game on the base map with the fire and ice factions. We're playing with some pretty strong players, skoomymooms, FadiB, and Barnawal. Fire and ice factions, I have very little experience. We have to assume that since this is the mix-up, we're going to get at least one fire or ice faction in the game, possibly more than one. And here we go. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. So the first thing that comes to mind is that, well, we're not playing with fan factions. One of the first things that came to mind actually was the fact that we have this stacked TP event, but that is actually not for us to worry about right now. Instead, we should just look at the track more like typically speaking, which is that we have two TP rounds late, and we have the spade round in round one. So most of the scoring is actually happening on these TP rounds. This track suggests out then up, and it's a high coin track. Typically a faction like Mermaids does well in the early seats here. You probably get this power tile passed to you in the first seat. You do something like double spade, continue to try to build dwellings or whatever in round two, maybe use your shipping. The other thing is that the fire cult has some okay rewards here. It's actually not a very good cult scoring game. The main thing is that you do get this, like these coins here. But otherwise, like, this is not an impressive cult game. So I think kind of like a nice all-around faction like Nomads is fun. Nomads are also like kind of like a nice, like, robust vanilla faction, you know, and I don't say that with any sort of pejorative. I love Nomads because I tend to enjoy like the more vanilla factions, honestly. I would assume that we're likely to see an ice faction in this game. My sense is that most of these players will probably prefer the ice factions rather than the fire factions. I'm always happy to play just base colors, but it's also a fun mix-up. Other factions that are good with this type of track, I'd say Engineers probably. That said, Engineers don't need a temple round late. They might not have any temples left to play at that point. Like, they usually build 2 temples early, then usually they build a 3rd temple for Water 1, which is better for them than making a Sanctuary. However, I could see like an Engineers with an early Sanctuary. Indeed, we do get Yetis in the 2nd seat. So for anyone who doesn't know the ice factions, the idea with ice factions is that they pick a color as their home color. So no gray factions will now be in the game. They place on natural grays. They don't get to build natural gray hexes. Instead, their terrain is ice. So even gray hexes will cost a spade. So that's basically like the main difference. However, in compensation for that, ice cannot be terraformed. You can't terraform away from ice. So they can leave their ice hexes just kind of sitting there. As for Yetis specifically, they have a special leech rule. Ooh, we have River Walkers. I didn't even think about the variable factions being in the game. Okay, so just naturally speaking, color-wise, like a natural color here is gray, or is black rather. Blue River Walkers, I would think, assuming that no one's on C1, assuming that black's not in the game, you might expect River Walkers to just unlock C1 and like play over here in the west, but generally I've found that like most Riverwalker games tend to happen over here in the east, but I think that this game would be more likely to happen kind of in this western area surrounding Nomads. Gray will probably have a neighbor, or like, you know, Yetis will probably have a neighbor here in the center. We probably want like a relatively normal faction here. I'm thinking either Witches. Now, Witches, normally speaking, if you have a gray and a blue, are an insane pick. But in this game, I don't think it's so insane because it's such a bizarre, you know, these factions are so bizarre. I don't think that Riverwalkers want to go like this d5 h4 route, which means that I think that green is relatively safe. Yetis will probably want to place f6 if brown is in the game, which makes me think that halflings are kind of fun too. I never really have an issue with halflings, so I'm going to put them in. I think that if Yetis do place f6, then that's a very good kind of game setup for halflings. They can't really go wrong, like just playing double east in that case. I also don't see a particularly compelling spot for gray to go other than in the east. Like gray hexes are just good, so I do think that halflings are so hard to disrupt here with the spade starting that I think that they're probably the best faction. Riverwalkers have kind of a fun game happening over here in the west, I think. I would think that if they can connect, then they have a very nice game kind of just hanging out over here in the west. Skoomymooms bids immediately on Yetis. Yetis should get the double spade in round 1. There is a spade event, so that's all good news for Yetis. So to cover their ability, one unique thing about Yetis is that, like, basically they're all about power. Their Stronghold and Sanctuary are worth 4 power instead of 3 power, like most others. And that's pretty interesting about them. It makes it easier for them to make 4 towns because they can afford to, you know, place their trading posts in other places to make their towns. They don't need Fire 2 as badly. They take a lot of leech as a result, but their leech is also very effective because if their Stronghold is unlocked, then they can use a power action, even if the even if that action has already been taken this round. So like they can get 2 power priests or 3 power 7 coin actions, which is obviously hilariously strong. They can also use 3 power for 2 workers, and because ice factions usually advance their digs, that's like 3 power for 2 digs. That's almost as good as like the Broken Enlightened, and better than Alchemists, which is pretty cool. Their printed ability lets them take the 1 power discount. The Stronghold lets them use a covered up power action, so they can actually like get coins multiple times, like per round, for example. Riverwalkers, their main ability is that like they don't use spades at all. Instead, they just build along coastlines, and they're a variable faction. So instead of terraforming, you actually pay a priest and a coin as you gain the priest income to unlock these spots. Riverwalkers also, it should be noted, are going to be able to unlock in round 1, I think. Like there's every reason to think that Riverwalkers should be able to unlock in round 1. And I think that actually the color that makes the most sense to me to unlock is gray, because then they can start E4 and just grab C2 and G1 in round 1, and that is pretty solid. So maybe it's something like start D2 E4 and then unlock gray, because I have to think that halflings are going to take the spade. So then you get the priest. Yetis do get the big building, which is fun. And then nomads get a crappy power tile in round 1. So they're going to take one of the 2 coins pass tiles. I would probably prefer the 4 coins if I'm nomads. We do see Barnawal doing that. I think that that's a good move, especially because I think that you're going to get excellent leech off of Riverwalkers throughout the game. Now, Riverwalkers will get good leech off of nomads too, so there's like a nice synergy going on there. I think that it's kind of going to look like, you know, unsurprisingly, there's going to be a classic like kind of gray and brown synergy and a yellow and blue synergy. So, fire factions, please. You think brown into blue? Yeah, I agree that brown is better than black because of the because you can do double east, right? Like that's just so good. Like that black starting on e5 it's like not very good in this setup. You could I guess you could fight for e6 if yellow lets you have it, but like that's not that fun. I think I'm still okay paying to be halflings, but I do like the nomads idea. I do like the nomads idea because I do think that Riverwalkers should play double west. I think that they are probably rightfully being treated as the worst faction here because the variable factions have much worse production overall. So, hey Ghostly, what's up? So, Snake, to address your point that Riverwalkers want the black hexes before the grays, which black hexes are at risk here? Like, I feel like you don't care that much about e5, right? Like, who really wants the black hexes? I think that halflings should play double east, and even if they are in the center, maybe they claim like. No, I mean, I guess if you play like a shipping halflings game, then it makes sense. Like if you go e6, but then you want to like town up here or town like through here, but I don't think that nomads particularly want an early stronghold. Okay, it looks like we're gonna find out what Fatty thinks about that, but I think that we're just gonna do double east. I think that I like the nomads deal here. Where's my second dwelling for Riverwalkers? I think e4 d2. That's my thought because then you connect on c2. You get c1 in round. So in round 1, you get the priest. You go c2 g1, right? You lock up these two grays. And then in round 2, you get c1. You unlock blacks. And then you get e5, c1, b3. Like, you're just off to the races. And I would probably just take Earth 1. There's a lot of coins in this game. Riverwalkers probably have trouble building a second temple and like making it make a lot of sense. I guess the second temple might make sense so that you get a priesting. Oh no, yeah, you don't even get priest income. So I think maybe you just temple Earth 1 and just start like going oh, I do not agree with this. Yeah, I don't agree with this. I think that e4 d2 was the placement, but if you're on d2, you think that c1 is higher risk than c2. From who? Do you think that nomads are going to sandstorm this hex? I don't really know like why we expect c1 to be under contention. Like certainly halflings don't want c1. Yetis are nowhere near here, so it has to be nomads. So you think that nomads want c1? I don't know. I mean, I never play with these factions anyway, so like I have no real dog in this fight, but I don't really see why they would want that so much. Depending on if nomads place g4, I think that they probably will place g4. However, it is a case where you might be able to justify. I might argue that e8 is probably a little safer because you never know if Riverwalkers will just pay to unlock yellow hexes and then they can just build e8 in round 1. That would probably be a problem for you. So I think that e8 is probably a little safer, which means that I'll get g4. Like I would like to build 2 4-hex towns here, ideally, but it's not a huge deal to me if that doesn't happen. Okay, Barnawal's considering abandoning the center. He could place g4 here and abandon center, which is relatively safe. There's usually no town happening in the center. So you can probably get this hex later. Like, you should always get e3, and then just be able to ship here. I do think with this placement, Riverwalkers probably care more about this gray and this green than about stealing yellows. Oh, but, okay. They just play it safe. We are taking the spade. It's a spade round. It can't be that bad. We should consider if we want Fire 1 or if we want Earth 2. The case for Fire 1 is that we can get the first priest onto the fire track, and then that's kind of a nice bonus. But with Earth 2, we just immediately get coins. We immediately get workers. Like Fire 1 is good because Like the TPs happen in round 4. I do expect for us to have built out like all the dwellings essentially at that point. And Fadi is deciding which color to unlock. It looks like it's greens, right? It's got to be greens. Like that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes that you can build with just greens. So we are going to see Riverwalkers unlock greens first. And then we'll see from there. Okay, basically you just think that there's no real need for digs, right? Or you basically think that Yetis have very little chance of taking C2. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. Like, that's not wrong. All right, Yahtzee. We're in business. I think the answer is I don't really want Fire 1. I think that there's enough coins in the game, and I'm just, like, not paying for shipping, right? Like, I'm probably just last in network anyway. There's no real point in paying for shipping. I did see a mention of going full Trump. I do think that, like, the thing with Earth 1 is that I won't build that many dwellings this game, right? I'll probably build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwellings this game. So that's like a, maybe like there's no dwelling round late. There I suppose there is this dwelling VP tile, but I'm kind of thinking that if I just go Earth 1, then it's not that good. I don't know. I definitely see the case for just going for Earth 1. And it has crossed my mind because this is like one of those unique cases where just taking Earth 1 and like not really worrying about it can work out. And especially like this Sanctuary event, like I will have plenty of economy, right? So if I just go Earth 1, build 2 dwellings, and then next round I try to take 1 or 2 spades and just grab like these 2 hexes or something. Yeah, I kind of like the idea. It's almost like experimental for me. I so rarely do it these days. Fire and Ice factions usually take Earth 1 more than base factions. Yeah, I agree, because they have so much economy. Like, Yetis have, like, infinite econ, right? Riverwalkers also, I know that I said they have kind of an anemic worker income, but the fact that they don't need spades, truly, and they also don't need to pay for shipping, truly makes them, like, kind of, like, almost invincible, right? Like, in terms of economy. The only question is, can they connect? And in this case, as we pointed out, like, C2 is relatively safe. They have unlocked, indeed they have unlocked greens, so, like, they're going to be very safe. So I do agree that, actually, we could see, like, an Earth 1 rush here, but if the Earth 1 rush happens, then that is actually not bad for me, because then I do just get the double spade in the spade round. I take these 2 blacks, and then I just do temple for Fire 1 or Earth 2. Probably Fire 1 at that point, because I have literally all my like hex needs taken care of, and next round I can just go building like crazy, and I'll just be sitting on a whole bunch of like worker production after round 2. I wonder if Barnawal is considering taking, like, I don't know what Barnawal is thinking about here. Yeah, okay. Like, the first Priest of Fire is pretty solid. He could also get the Priest of Earth. But I do think I'm going to go for this this dumb Earth 1 plan now. And I have been offered the double spade, so I think that I'm going to snatch the double spade now. Just transform these 2 brown hexes, black hexes, and I will still temple for Earth 1, I think. It's so dumb, but I just really want to do it. And this might be like kind of people might not enjoy watching this, but I think that it is kind of reasonable in this case not to build the dwelling first to like try to maximize leech, because like technically building E10 gets me the most leech, right? Odds are that Yetis are going to double spade. However, I don't think I need that much leech this game either. For the same reason that I feel comfortable taking Earth 1 in round 1, I actually don't think that I need to pay that many victory points for leech this game. I could live to eat these words, absolutely. Like, don't. I'm not going to act like this is an infallible idea or anything, but if I end up catching FadiB off guard, I think that more likely Yetis are going to be the ones who miss out on Earth 1. Yeah, I think that it's probably more likely that Yetis will miss out on Earth 1. Because FadiB really does want to... Well, actually, you're right, because FadiB just wants to build dwellings, right? Like, it's... But he can probably Sanctuary, like... He can probably most easily afford the Sanctuary. Wow, Gray is quite nice. I actually think that Yetis are arguably under more threat from Riverwalkers than vice versa. Because the natural second color to unlock is Gray, right? Like, they've unlocked green. They're going to build... I would probably build C4 and C3. Wait, Yetis took a single spade? Is that right? Yetis just blocked the single spade? But that has to be a mistake, right? Oh, they're waiting for me to temple for Earth 1 so that they can set themselves up for a better leech situation. I mean, fair play. Do I see any reason to mess with Yetis here? Like, I could stall Yetis by doing this, right? So I do want to transform this hex. Does slow play get me anything? Could I wind up on this big building tile? Like, which tile am I winding up on if all this goes down the way that I think? I guess, like, if I'm fast, then I could wind up on this, but I don't think I'm going to be fast enough to beat Riverwalkers. And Riverwalkers probably take this. I also don't think I'm fast enough to beat Nomads, so Nomads will pass and beat me. So I'm really just... The question is really, like, do I want, like, a priest or this, or do I want the big building tile that Yetis have? And the answer is probably... I don't really care. In which case, I might as well just slow play. Like, normally, I'm pretty allergic to slow play, but in this game, like, I'm just gonna try something a little different. I mean, realistically, Yetis just build E9, and it's fine. Like, this, I don't think that really had much of an impact. The true trump is to build no dwellings this round and get more points next round. Can I build 5 dwellings next round? If I can, then it's tempting, but I can't because I won't land on Yeti's tile. But actually, that's pretty funny. I totally could do that. But I see what's going on here. I think that what's going to happen is that Yetis are going to get the double spade and be able to take D7. So then they do protect C5. I think FadiB should definitely be building C4 here, and I think that he will. Oh, man. I don't like that. I think that he missed a route where he could have grabbed C5. Also, I also don't like taking Earth 2 instead of Fire 1, especially for Riverwalkers. That just feels not very good. I guess he is landing on this, though. I definitely don't think he should be taking the Dwelling VP, but there you go. He's allowed to do what he wants. All right, here's the double spade. We probably see d4 and d7 here. I will feed Skoomy the leech that he needs if he wants to come onto e10. So, yep. This is really nice because now Skoomy does protect c5. This is this is delightful. Barnawal has no shipping, so I think I'm comfortable building g5, and then I build these 3 hexes next round. I guess there's a small question now of whether or not it's good to pass. Like the 7 coins is pretty good, but the 4 coins is also quite good. So like I'm just not too pressed about it. Yeah, there's the 7 coin pass, I think. If I'm able to get the first priest to Earth, I think I'd be quite happy. Next round, ooh. Okay, that's cool. Could we see 2 ship nomads? Actually, nomads don't really have anywhere to go on 2 ship, do they? Yetis pass, they take the coins, okay. So I think that my move is I pass onto the 4 coins, I build 3 dwellings, and then I just pass right away back onto the big building tile. I think that's the play. Skoomy is trying to figure out if he should down convert. The answer is yes, because I will probably just build g5 if he does. Okay, he's going to grab coins, I assume, or no, he should not be he should not be trying to take a power action here. I don't think he wants to burn power here. But it also is sad for him if I build g5 and he's converted incorrectly. Okay, he's taken a priest. Okay, so he's going to get the first priest to Earth. That seems reasonable. Okay. He gets 1 power. This is probably most awkward for his, this is probably most awkward for him. Okay, so I land on the 7 coins, which is probably about as good as you can get. So now I have no desires other than to pass and get onto the big building tile. If I can have the fastest round possible, that's ideal. FadiB wants to build, probably unlock blacks at this point, right? FadiB wants to unlock blacks. Or grays. Maybe grays this round, blacks next round. And then he can build 1... Let's say it's blacks, right? If it's blacks, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes to build on. He only has 5 workers. He's gonna be having a long round. I assume that Barnawal is having a long round. He passed on to the priest, so he must be planning on using both priests. If he's doing shipping, he can come up here and maybe do like a hard dig or something. I don't know. But the question is, will Yetis pass quickly? And I think that Yetis might pass quickly. Not sure about 3 actions quickly, but our only goal this round is really to build 3 dwellings. We're going to build all these dwellings, and we're going to try to pass onto this big building tile. I do have doubts about not taking Earth 2 now, not because of the worker income, but because of the coin income. The power from Earth 2 could be really helpful going forward, because if you think about it, this hex here represents a town for Yetis. So, oh, they did take grays. Okay. Because they already had enough hexes. That's perfectly reasonable. because coins will become a problem for me to try to build these TPs. However, I'm just not going to worry too much about it, because if I just sanctuary for fire 2, or fire water 1 next round rather, like it's fine, right? Like it's gonna be fine. Yeti's maybe weighing. Okay, Barnawal immediately advanced ship. I kind of suspect Barnawal will probably beat me to the pass. I'm just looking at it, and if I were Barnawal, I would probably... Well, he took the priest, right? The one thing that we have to keep in mind is that Barnawal did take this priest. I don't know what the priest is about, really. I don't really know what the priest is about. Because I would think that, like, he might pivot, right? Like, I'm just thinking about what I would do here, and I would probably be trying to pass on to the nomads big building tile, and then trying to just build both the sanctuary and the stronghold that round. Like, that feels pretty good. But like, if I get beaten to any of these passes or whatever, I will just stick the first priest onto water and not cry too much about it. First air priest is also not too bad. Like, there's stuff out here for me. I'm not beating anyone on network here, right? Like, taking G6, there's no real point in that, right? Like, also, maybe I should set my goals like I'm probably not getting the 2-key town, right? If I do get the 2-key town, I'm clearly taking it, because just playing like a tall game, like, it never hurts to have very good cults, and just being able to kind of effortlessly get like 10 or so cult points would be nice. I don't have much priest production either. Skoomy is hilariously already trying to position himself to take less leech. I love it. But yeah, I kind of think that others will be fighting for Earth 1 next round, so I should still be able to get Water 1. And this is... Fatty is just... I guess he's going to get this leech, right? He's going to get this leech, and he's going to be able to take a coins action. So then he'll be safe. But this is also just... I would... Was this hex already under threat? Like... I guess Skoomy should secure this hex now. Yeah, I guess he probably should secure this hex now. But it's an interesting spot there. Alright, Barnawal, this amount of thought. I do think that this amount of thought probably implies that we're considering having a faster round. Because, in my opinion, if he digs B2 and builds A5, or vice versa, builds G2 and then I7. Actually, it's got to be G2 first, right? That he's more interested in. If he goes G2, I7, then he will beat me, because I have two more hexes to build. If he just has a 2 hex round, then he'll get out of here. He also could take the coins. The coins won't stick around. Okay, he does just go 2 ship. Okay. This seems to take him out of the big building talk, but, who's to say? Yetis now don't have to burn their power. They should probably take the double spade, G2 and C5. There it is. I really think that Fatty should have played C4 to put some pressure on Yetis. That's a really nice break for Yetis, and now they have these 2 hexes. It's coming up real clean for them. And Riverwalkers still have 4 hexes left to build, only 3 workers, so yeah, that makes lots of sense. Okay. So that's our last mandatory action. And we will look to pass onto the big building tile if we can. Failing that, I think... Failing the big building tile, we probably just put the priest onto the water track. Yeah, I would say that's probably what we do. Yeah, this is this is not ideal for Riverwalkers. Well, no, they're because now Barnawal, I think, is in very good position to take the coins. Wow, FadiB passes early again. This time he will be able to take the coins next round. Okay, so he's taking this big building tile. That's fair play. I guess that means I could pass on to this Dwellings VP tile? That can't be bad. That, like, literally can't be bad for me to do that. Wow, Barnawal takes a single spade. There are a lot of coins in this game, and he has Fire 1, so... I just don't... If... Okay, he opens up 2 hexes this way? Alright, and no one's really fighting for this tile? Okay. Okay. I see it. I see it. If I stick the priest now, Yeti's probably passed before me. I think I really do want this, so... Yeah. I think I also get to stick the priest next round if I want. Okay, maybe not. He'll probably put both priests. Actually, there's no way that he thinks that it's worth it, right, to put the priest on... Okay, he didn't even take a 3 spot. Because I thought Yetis could take the 3 spot on water, then buy another priest for 2 power, and then put that on air, but... burning on 5 power makes little sense for Yetis, I think. They want to maintain as much power capability as possible, so... Yeah, my sad part is that I'm not going to get any more leech for the rest of the game, so I really probably should have taken Earth 2 and gotten some more, but you know what? 10 points is 10 points, right? Yetis often love the 2 key. I agree. They don't need to get priest production from temples early because they have this. The question for them is, can they get the scoring favor that they want from here? And I think the answer is yes, right? Barnawal wants Earth 1 more than he wants Water 1. And in fact, he might not be... Like, he's not getting the coins. I think that Riverwalkers almost take the coins every time here. So I think he's not getting one of the 2. Yeah, so I think that I want to start with the priest to water. Yeah. That makes me happy. Priest to water, Sanctuary water 1, and if there's still a spot on the fire cult, then I'll take the spot on the fire cult. Or, I mean, I guess if the 3 spot on air still remains, then I'll take the 3 spot on air, but I kind of doubt that. Yeah, that went away. Sad, but no surprise. I'm like looking at the pass tiles for next round, right? There is this 7 coins pass tile, which is pretty attractive. Riverwalkers take water 1 first. Okay, so I think that everyone's going to get what they want. Yetis care more about water 1, and nomads care more about earth 1. So I don't think that there's too much tension going on there. But we are going to take this. Barnawal decides to go for the block. So Yetis get Earth 1. I think that they... I guess if we assume that Yetis build to 15 structures, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more Earth 1 points. Water 1 is probably 15 points under that scenario. So it's not too much pain. Actually, Barnawal has more dwellings out than I realized. So Water 1 makes sense there too. So then Barnawal probably still gets Earth 1. Like, if he times his pass correctly, which I don't see why he wouldn't time his pass correctly at this point. Ooh, that's... Okay, this worked out real nicely for me, because I think that this is where I want to land. Well, I guess this is a little sad for me, because I don't have much coin production going on. But I can take a coin town, or an 8-pointer. 8-pointer is fine, too. I guess for all my talk against FadiB's game, I thought that he should have taken Earth 1. However, his game is fine, right? Yeah, his game is fine. He doesn't need Earth 1, really. Like, he's scoring as well as I am off these pass tiles. And his economy is as good as mine, if not better, so... Barnawal takes a spade. He's in fairly dire economic straits. Ooh, Yetis are about to Sanctuary for Earth 1. That's fun. Oh wait, just kidding. But they can Sanctuary for... I don't know if there's anything else worth building a Sanctuary for. Simply to complete the town, I guess. This is kind of a hilarious faction. Would you take Air 1 here as Yetis, or would you take Fire 1? I think both are pretty justifiable. Fire 1 gets you 3 power, and it's very nice, just like random econ for you. I'm assuming that they're going to... By the way, I'm assuming that they're building a Sanctuary and taking the 8-point town. That's why I'm saying, like, what should they do here? Like, I'm thinking that they want to build Sanctuary, take an 8-pointer. Oh, they don't do it. I feel like it would have been fun. I think that the 8-point town is the way to go for me. And I say that because with the 8-pointer, I will have gained 3 power, and that puts me in position to take the coins next round. And then I can temple for air 1, which I do think I want, and I don't think I should have competition for. I think the air 2 is good with the stronghold and the big building is in. Fire 1 is less efficient than air 2. Well, 2 steps is better than 1, so that's a point there. Yeah. I mean, my thing is that Yetis only have 7 power tokens, so I'm worried that they overflow with power if they take air 2, but I guess they don't, right? They can take 14 charge per round, so yeah, air 2 does make some sense. But I don't know about your opinion, but I think that they should have built the big building last round. I thought that would have been cool. So nomads actually get these coins. That's incredible for them. So yeah, that's good news for nomads. Very good news for nomads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is probably at least an 18 point water one. Whereas earth one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. It's a 16 point earth one versus an 18 point water. Okay, fine. Not a big deal. Not a big deal either way. What were we talking about? We were talking about taking a town. And I was talking about taking an 8-pointer. I think I still kind of like the 8-pointer. And now the most important thing is to secure the coins action next round. So a lot of options next round for the pass tile. None of them are the ones that I most want, which are the dwelling VP and the big building VP. Well, okay, sorry, I'm already on the big building VP. I did not notice this. That's very, very nice for river walkers. Okay. Maybe we can... What can we do that's cool? This is kind of cool. Well, we're taking air 1 next round, so the priest here is definitely cool. I assume that the 8-point town will go away, so my second town is probably a priest town, and I think that that's important because I do want to fully advance my digs just to get efficient points by the end of the game, and it feels like the best way to do that is with... By the way, if there's any confusion over what I'm doing right now, I am thinking that I probably want to put a TP over here as well. Let's fill this track up. And I'm trying to figure out, if I spend 2 power here, I think that I can still get the coins action, because I should get, yeah, okay. So I'm going to do 2 power to a coin, and then do it, and make a TP here. That puts me in good position to temple for fire 1 next round, or air 1 next round, because then I can get the points here. So I lose a worker production, but I think that it's worth it, because then I get 2 more air 1 points. FadiB probably beats me to the pass and gets the coins action. I think that that's... Like, he's been... Well, no, he probably wants a town here. He probably wants... I would think that he wants an 8-point town here, but he could take a priest town as well. There's also the coin town. I don't think that he particularly wants a coin town. I think that he would rather just pass early, again, and take like a... Because if I'm allowed to, I mean... Oh, wait, no, I can't take a town right now. Okay, he does take a coin town. Again, I don't agree with that, but... Many better players have done things that I don't agree with. We'll just put this up here. All right, so if I get the yeah, if I get first pass and coins action, then I'll take it. If I don't, then I think that I'm okay anyway. I can just temple Air 1 next round anyway. I guess I'm losing this air cult anyway, aren't I? That's kind of sad. Barnawal beats me to the next 8-point town. Okay, but I already said that I'm interested in a priest town, right? So I shouldn't be too pressed about this, right? It's easier said than done. Fadi's going to build some stuff. I think it is time to pass. Alright, so I don't think I'm interested in this. It blocks other players for a turn, which I do kind of like, but I don't think I'm just that interested in blocking people just to block. The coins is good and the priest is good. I'm already talking about taking a priest just for economy. I kind of expected this track to fill up, so the cult step might be good in that sense. Like, the priest is good econ because I can send it to a cult and then it'll get me more points, and there's still space on the water track, for example. The cult step is more coins up front. It's arguably one fewer step. But like the priest also, for example, like lets me start advancing my digs if I want to stall. On the other hand, if I just sit on this, I don't... The other argument is that I don't need much of anything, so sitting on this just denies some other people's stuff, but I think that this is probably the best actual thing for me. Sudden hot take is, what if I temple twice next round? What if I go air 1 temple, water 1 temple, and then build a TP or something? Advance my digs, then build E11, and then take a town? Like that? Or sorry, air 1, water 2, right? And then advance my digs, build a town. Like that is a thing that can mathematically happen. It depends on, I guess like it'll depend on passing tiles, because my final round I probably just want good pass tiles. Like what's really important is getting air 1. because I could have as short a round as temple for air 1, pass. I think that odds are I will probably do the math and think it's better to drop the priest on air, temple air 1, build a dwelling, pass, something like that. And then from there it could evolve. There's still a copy of Earth 1 there, so I guess they'll just save that for next round. That makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Barnawal has used his spade. Where did he use the spade? Use it on e3. Okay. I wonder if Barnawal has a 3-town game or anything, but he also just has a boatload of points without worrying too much about it. He has good cult, and he'll beat me on network. It looks like Riverwalkers should run away with network, but I can't say for certain. I guess it's probably TP dwelling here. Maybe a TP on b5 and then a dwelling on b3. Yeah, seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Barnawal doesn't want to put another TP in a useless spot, but it's probably just okay too. Hard dig, okay. I think that's probably a good move because, yeah, that's probably the right move. You need some more workers, and nomads should now be able to get over. They are 1 power now away from being able to build an expensive TP up here, but that's not very important. The worker economy is good. They actually get to pass on to this, and then this will let them build a stronghold next round, and then that would really help with 3 towns if he wants 3 towns, though I guess I don't particularly see how 3 towns happens now. Priest goes to the water track. Okay. This increases my interest in putting a priest to water next round. Yetis have partially advanced their digging. Interesting. Barnawal seems likely to beat me to the next 8-point town. So I have 2 very strong desires here. I have a desire for the priest to water and a priest to air. It's a good thing I have 2 priests in hand, and I'm going to temple for more priest production. The 2 temple idea now gains some steam as well, but I just think that once I take this coins action, probably both of those will just disappear right away. So this is probably a problem that I'm not actually facing. I'm like talking about the solution to a problem that I don't actually have. This is a very nice pass for Barnawal. Okay, so I was talking before about whether I wanted a fast or slow round. It now seems very clear that I want a slow round because literally all the stuff is with everyone else. So I want to put priests. I want to jam as many priests as I can. Maybe use my stuff to advance my digging. Complete this town. Like, I'm gonna do all that I can here. Is there an air 1 rush that I'm losing? No, that was earth 1. Okay. Oh man, that is so sick for nomads. Okay, could I get blocked off of air 1? I definitely could get blocked off of air 1 if I take this time to send a priest, I think. Because... yeah, Barnawal can definitely afford air 1 here. Yep, okay, fine. Really don't want to lose that. No copies of any scoring favors left. Probably the rush now is for towns and cults. Barnawal is trying to lock it in. Yetis don't really have a third town going on yet. I guess like they could be eyeing down here, especially if I come down and be a good neighbor to them. Okay, so I actually am offered both priest spots. I think this priest spot is better. Because the temple for water 2 is likely the thing that I want to do next. I don't think Yetis want to build their third temple this round. They want to use that priest to advance their digging. There's a lot of econ on these pass tiles remaining. Like a hilarious amount of econ. For any enthusiasts. Oh man. Okay, this rewrites things for us. Okay, like, who benefits if I pass here? The answer is no one benefits. And that I love. Yeah. I love a situation where no one else benefits. Though, admittedly, this is not very good for me, right? Like, how many dwellings do I realistically want to have on the board after this? Like, 4? No, 4 dwellings is totally worth it. What am I talking about? This is such a stupidly rich economic game. I wonder if Skoomy... I wonder if Skoomy is considering this northeast corner as a potential spot for a town. He only needs a sanctuary and 2 dwellings if he takes Fire 2. Now, he doesn't want Fire 2, admittedly. But sanctuary and 1 expensive TP is enough for a town up here. And then down here, he can just do his other town. There's the temple for Fire 2. I think that we definitely expected that. Yeah. You definitely expect a temple for Fire 2 here. I mean, I still think that there's a chance that we'll see it, that we will do the temple for Water 2 or Water 3 here. To close out this cult if need be. However, the question could be raised, like, where's the appetite to compete for that? So all right, I think that we're going to see temple for we're probably going to see stronghold, and then so quick rules, like, flash, right? The stronghold for the Riverwalkers allows them to lay 2 bridges. Now, they need 1 bridge. And the stronghold also provides some, town power. But I kind of think that that's not really what FadiB needs here. FadiB needs Fire 2 anyway. Because if he does stronghold here and then a TP, then this is a 7 power town. He gets the bridge, and then he already has 2 TPs out, so he would have 2 TPs and 2 dwellings, which is not enough. So he actually still needs Fire 2. So I should probably abandon hope on the Fire Cult. That's probably not controversial. Why? So this does make me think that we're going to see a temple here. And this is probably water 2. We might see temple and sanctuary. So like water 2 followed by air 3, or water, and closing the air cult on me. That's what I predict here. I'm unconvinced that that's the right move, but I kind of predict that that's what's going to happen, because this big building is here. Now he's going to lock up some territory first. Fair enough. Indeed, there's water 2. The sanctuary. Okay, he's going to lock out the fire cult. That's kind of nice for me, but the sanctuary probably, it has to compete against me by definition. And if he does want this 4th town, then it probably should be Fire 1, or Fire 2 rather. Ooh, okay, that's relatively a break for us, I would say. Okay, he is going to send the last priest to air as well. That's fair enough. Oh, he realizes now that he would be overproducing. I wonder what the clock usage is going to be like this game. I think FadiB's going to have like a hilariously low number of moves this game, because he's passed first so many times. I wonder if Skoomy is even really considering the town up here, because he totally should be, in my opinion. But maybe I overestimate his econ, and he doesn't have nearly like the amount of workers to do that. Barnawal has more points than me. That's disgusting. Disgusting, I say. And he's going to have, just looking at his econ, I assume that he's just going to build these 3 TPs, take 2 very high VP towns, because, yeah, he is going to beat me to the high VP towns. At this point, I don't need the priest town so bad, so maybe I'm not that concerned about the the specific need for the priest town, but the 11 pointer would be nice. But I think the 7 pointer is not like the end of the world for me to get. So I'm now. So basically, what I'm considering now, right, is it more important for me to get a better town, or is it more important to is it more important for me to get one of these 3 towns, or is it more important for me to defend these cults? And I think that the answer is actually it's more important for me to fight the cults. So I think that the air cults could just see Yeti's dropping a priest on air is an immediate issue for me. Whereas I actually don't think that these guys are going to be that fast about jumping up on the water cult, because they would need to temple for that. And there's no 8 pointer left for nomads. Nomads definitely don't want to build another temple. Just looking at their economy, I think they want to build more dwellings. Yep, there goes one of the highest VP towns. And I will do my best to build 2 I have 3 moves to town, right? Realistically, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to build 2 TPs, and then I'm going to see the 2 priests go away, and I'm just going to temple for water 2. Yeah. So the fire 2 town is coming. A priest is coming. I really don't think Yetis are going to Sanctuary anymore. I could be wrong. They could Sanctuary Water 3 here, but maybe they're still going for it. But at this point, they would need Fire 2. And if they were still going for 3 towns, then you would think that they would have Fire 2'd. I wonder if we can start trying to figure out who's winning. So everyone is going to have a big edge on us in network. The best thing for me to happen is probably for Riverwalkers to win it outright, but unfortunately I think that both Nomads and Yetis could beat Riverwalkers. Well, they have infinite hexes, right? So the question is, how much stuff do they have? Can they build to 15? The answer is probably pretty cleanly they can. All right. Okay, Nomads cannot beat me on water. Yetis can do it if they Sanctuary Water 3. I don't think that's to their advantage. I think that they want to do other stuff. I probably will be taking Water 2 at some point anyway, but Okay, so the priest town is gone. There's no more rush on the towns. I think that it's probably time for me to just slow play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeti's town is 4 moves away. Riverwalker's second town is 1, 2, 3 moves away. Okay. So I have time to build a temple then. Like, this doesn't really... Because the priests are gone, right? Oh, wait. No, there's still a priest town left. He took a workers town. But in order to make the priest town really worth it, I probably want to advance my digs first. And now, after this, I can temple for water too. Or, like, basically right now I'm still considering it, like, it could be worth it to rush for the priest town instead of the workers town. Because the priest town is obviously nice. Barnawal. He does have Earth 1, and he took Earth 1 late. So I think that he still wants to build these hexes. Like, that's... My ideal is that he still wants to build H1, I7, and then double spade to get down to 15 structures. If he decides to be a hero and play tall for his final few moves, that would be a problem for me, because he could temple for water 2, or water 3. I guess... Oh, right. Okay, so my reasoning for that Barnawal can't beat me on water is that if he temples, he doesn't have another structure to take a second favor. So he would only get to step 8, and then I could still beat him there. Okay. Whoa, Skoomy is slow playing this. Okay, so I'm going to get to be able to take... So I am getting that priest town then. I can take water 2 now and still get that priest town. I think that's what this means. That's good news. Okay. I do think that Barnawal probably wants this double spade. He's not acting like he wants it, to be fair. Again, just to clarify, there's no fire 2 here. So they are 3 moves away. I'm considering dropping this priest onto this cult here. Whoa, what's FadiB doing? Is FadiB trying to 4-town? If he has Browns unlocked, then... Well, not worth thinking about right now, right? I'm also kind of considering taking a ship town, because that might allow me to build easier dwellings for future TPs. Like, I have Earth 1 still. So if I get, like, B6, A11, A13, those might be nice places to build... I don't know. Those might be nice places to go for this. That would probably involve taking the coin town. And honestly, I don't know if I have the workers for all that, because I still need to advance my digs once. There are some digs involved there, like... Admittedly, I can at least advance my digs and figure this out. Like, I can take some time to advance digs. Okay, so Barnawal is almost out of the game. He's choosing to only get to 13 network, so he is going to lose network to Riverwalkers. Like, oh no, sorry. There's still this single spade left. So if he gets the leech, then he should get to 14 network. But yeah, that will lose network to both Riverwalkers and Yetis, so he probably doesn't have a ton of incentive to do that. Instead, he'll probably send Priest to this cult, in which case, let's not overthink things. We're just going to take the Priest town. Okay. So we're going to advance our gigs. We're going to build here, and we're going to make a TP, and that's pretty much the rest of our game. Oh, crap. I don't love this. Us getting left here was not part of the plan. I think I probably was supposed to send Priest there. Yeah, that was sloppy. At least I have water too. This also takes the pressure off. Like I could maybe Earth 3 or something. We'll see after I build G6, like what situation I'm in. I see. Okay, I see now. Fatty is now going to put the stronghold down. This is a very cool Riverwalkers game plan. Granted, the biggest towns are gone, but he gets another. Yeah, he still gets another stronghold thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll tie network with Yetis. I'll just give Yetis this free leech. Oh wait, no. Doing this, just kidding. Yeah, I do wonder if maybe taking the ship town is a little better so I can get to H5, but I don't know. Probably not really worth second guessing myself, especially if I get any points off of putting the priest to cults, which I might. Super cool game here from Riverwalkers. And he has all the econ he needs, so he can just take the workers town here. Yeah. He needs, in order to get to 16 structures, he needs 3 workers and 2 coins. So, or 3 workers and 5 coins. So there he has it. So he'll probably just take the power town after this as well. So it's pointless to fight this cult then. These 2 priests are both going there. So I can just encourage nomads and river walkers to fight. So instead, I will send my bump peaceably. I'll peaceably send my bump up the water cult and just lock this guy out. I think in the end I didn't have enough econ to make it worth it to chase anything beyond what I've done. So I think I made the right call. Like, I think going for a ship town was probably too ambitious anyway. Well, I save a worker here. Okay, so I probably, maybe I do get 2 TPs if I take the ship town instead. Maybe it's like a little bit better, but I got 4 more points straight up, plus I got to dig twice, so maybe I cost myself like 3 or 4 points or something. I'm not going to be too sad. If I had 1 more power, then I could build down another dwelling, which would be very nice, but that doesn't appear to be the case. I don't think that anyone's giving me any leech, but the idea here is that if I get a 3 for 2, then I can make a TP, which would be fun. Okay, so we can count Barnawal's final score, right? He's going to have 146 with this resource point. He has 6 points on network, assuming that Yetis connect. So that's 152, 156, 158. Let's say that Riverwalkers take away 1 of each of these. So that's 158 plus, if he loses 2 points here, 162. Do we have 162 beat? We have 1 resource point plus 2 digging points. Should I close this cult? Maybe I should just close this cult. It's probably better. That's still a resource point. Okay, so I have 2 resource points, 1 digging point, so that's 143. When I come out of here, I pass for 6, 149, and then I have 16 points here, 163. I might have nomads beat by 1 point. That'd be kind of fun, if true. We'll just do this first. Okay. Yeah, there's theoretically some risk of Yetis doing some sanctuary shenanigans. And it's the same number of points. Like digging once and 1 resource point left over is 2 points. Sending the priest, this is equal points. So I think that's the play. Actually, Yetis are going to build here and give me leech that I no longer need, which is sad. Oh, maybe I was supposed to dig here, because if Yetis do... Okay, no, they just do that. Okay, so no need to worry about that. No buyer's remorse here. Looks like they have exactly enough stuff to build I6 and H6 and finish up the game. Okay. Yetis, okay. Now they're going to get 2 more points. Plus, I think... $127, $145. Actually, I think that Yetis do have this. 42 endgame points, or 39 endgame points. Yeah, that is enough. I think Yetis have it by 1 point. So, if we did lose this, then I almost certainly think that I lost it because I didn't send that last priest to Earth. If I send that last priest to Earth and I still protect the air cult, then I think that I have this game. Like we said that we were ahead of Barnawal, right? We're like just ahead of Barnawal. But I think that I might have lost it because I didn't send that last priest to Earth. Yeah. Well, that's just Terra Mystica for you. Oh, okay, actually, it looks like it might be a draw. Okay. Cool. What did we learn from this game? I think we learned that double East Halflings continues to be really, really good if black isn't in the game. Like it's good for both the gray faction and the brown faction. We learned that greed is good. Barnawal managed to get like this water 1, earth 1 stuff going on, which is pretty neat. I don't know if there's too much else learned from this. Yeah, thanks everyone for chatting. Thanks for watching. I guess we'll do a quick look here, but I'm not sure that there's gonna be too much that we learned from this. Who's in the left column? This is just yeah, when people see late TPs, they can play pretty dang well. Yeah. And then favor points, yeah, we got like earth 1, water 1, air 1. They say it's chumping, but it feels pretty good. So this is, like we said, this was only like 12 earth 1, maybe 14 earth 1 points, 15 air 1 points, or water 1 points, and then some air 1 points, like 5 air 1 points. And then yeah, we just, like, this is, we did what we could with the bonus cards. Honestly, like, we didn't build that wide, right? We got on the big building twice, or once, and then the dwellings twice. But we didn't play as wide economically as the other player, so obviously we wouldn't score as much here. And then we took 2 good towns, like we said. Yeah, honestly, like, this is actually one of those games where you could, I could probably drive myself crazy, like, trying to figure out if taking the ship town was better there at the end. Because I could have gone for, like, the TPs instead of what I did. This is also kind of a fun stat. I lost 4 power to structures. Yetis lost 24. But, you know, 2 pads to the same outcome. And yeah, maybe this game looks different if, like, I guess this has to be better than what I envisioned for Riverwalkers, right? My vision for Riverwalkers was to play an ultra-conservative, like, West game that benefited Nomads a lot more, I think. But, yeah. I think that's that. Yeah, thank you, Ghostly. Like, I think that, honestly, I look at this game and I'm like, man, I had a lot of places to improve that, because if I had just sent that priest to, like, for example, I know for certain if I send that priest to Earth, then I definitely get at least 1 point back, right? And, like, Yetis building out to 16, they were probably never realistically threatening air as much as I kept, like, being paranoid of. So if I get, like, 1 point on Earth, like, that's enough. But I think that's fine. I think I'm pretty happy with this outcome. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. We will see you next time. It's good to be back.